Welcome to the kitchen. I've got a pumpkin palooza going on here. I've got these little pumpkins that I grew in the backyard everywhere. I'm using them in decorations. I've got some in the sink I'm going to wash to make pumpkin butter. These are for the grandkids. I've got some on my porch. All from 3 little seeds that I planted back in the spring, and they have grown. I'm going to insert here what it looks like. So from those 3 little plants, we've got this side of the fence and the other side of the fence, full of pumpkin vine and little pumpkins. It was so much fun growing these. So I've got to do something with all these pumpkins. I am giving a lot of them away to my grandkids, but so today I thought I'd just bring you along and show you what I'm doing with all these wonderful little pumpkins that you can grow right in your backyard. It's so much fun. The kids love it, but I think I love it even more. So let's get started. We're going to wash them, we're going to bake them, and then we're going to make some crock pot pumpkin butter, and it's going to be so good. So let's get going. All right, the first step in preparing your pumpkins, of course, is to wash them. They do have dirt on them, and it looks like a little bit of mildew or mold or something, but I'm going to scrub these with some Dawn, and we don't usually eat the shell anyway, but I'm going to get them good and clean, and then we're going to cut these up and put them in the oven. All right, step 2, we're going to cut and gut the pumpkins. So using a really sharp knife, cut down the center of that pumpkin, and these are really tender. They haven't cured very long, but they're nice and tender. Beautiful pumpkin meat inside, and I am just using a canning lid to scoop out. It's so easy to do it this way. Just scoop out those guts, the slimy, sticky stuff. Just get it right out of that center section. And then step 3, we're going to bake the pumpkin. So I put 1 cup of water on a full lined baking pan, turn the pumpkins upside down, and I place these in a preheated 400-degree oven for about 45 minutes. I checked them after 30 minutes and they just needed to go a little bit longer. So very easy to do. The chickens enjoyed those seeds and pumpkin guts, so it was a win-win for everybody. All right, now we're going to take these out of the oven. I stick a fork in it to see if it's nice and tender, and they are. So we're going to take these over to the counter and then let them completely cool. They're too hot to try to get the pumpkin meat off, so wait till they've completely cooled. And when I lift it up with a fork, you can see inside is nice and soft. All right, step 4, we're going to remove that outer pumpkin shell, and it peels right off in your hand, and I just throw that in the trash, and then our pumpkin meat is going to be gathered all together in one big bowl. It is stringy, but we can take care of that with the next step. Step 5, we're going to puree the pumpkin meat in a food processor, and you really need to do this to get that nice smooth butter consistency. So measuring out 4 cups at a time, and I will leave this recipe in the description box below with all the ingredients. I doubled it for this project because I had so much pumpkin meat, but we're going to puree that for about 2 minutes in the food processor on high to get it nice and smooth. Now if you wanted to freeze your pumpkin later for pumpkin bread, pumpkin muffins, you go all the way to this step, and then you can just take that pumpkin, pureed pumpkin, and put it in Ziploc bags and store it in your freezer for later. You can use that in smoothies or coffee creamer or muffins, breads. But that's a good way to use up some of this pumpkin, is to freeze it and then have it later around Thanksgiving and Christmas. But for this, I'm going to be using this strictly for the pumpkin butter. So step 6, we're going to add all of our ingredients. We've got brown sugar and white sugar. Again, I'll leave all the ingredients in the description box. We're going to be adding in some vanilla. And then we're going to add in our spices. We have cloves, cinnamon, ginger, and nutmeg, and that's what makes it taste so good. So we're going to add in our spices, and then we're going to add in the 2 cups of apple juice. This is very similar to apple butter, but this consistency is so much thicker and nicer to me than apple butter. All right, we're going to give this a good stir, mix it all together. You might want to take a whisk and really work those spices in. Step 7, we're going to cook on low for 4 hours, stirring every hour. While this is cooking for the next 4 hours, your house is going to smell wonderful, just like fall. So now it's step 8. It's time to jar up the pumpkin butter. You cannot can pumpkin butter. Pumpkin is very low acid and it is not recommended to can it, but you can put it in jars and store it in the freezer or in the refrigerator. The refrigerator for 1 month, and you could put it in Ziploc bags and store it in the freezer for 3 to 6 months. All right, so let's have some delicious breakfast this morning. I made an omelet, and I'm going to put some pumpkin butter on some whole wheat toast. Look how nice and thick that is. Oh my goodness, it is so good, y'all. I'm just spreading this on toast, and we're going to give this a good taste test. What a perfect fall breakfast. I will also use this in some pumpkin cinnamon rolls I'll make. I'm going to use it on biscuits, hot biscuits from the oven. You just can't go wrong with pumpkin butter. It is so delicious. All right, so let me take you on a little sneak peek of how I'm using the other pumpkins. I just took a basket that I had, set it on top of my table runner, and just threw some pumpkins in there. Instant decoration. And I've got the whole house now decorated for fall. This is the dining room. I've put up my fall plates and wreaths, and it just makes me feel so nice to have fall in the house. I'm glad summer's over. It was too hot. Now on the front porch, I had an extra little tub, and I filled them with the pumpkins. Right here on the porch, I've got my fall pillows out and my flowers. I've got to get a bale of hay for the other end of the porch, but it's coming along nicely. Everything's starting to look and feel like fall here. It's been nice and cool, and I love that I can pull all my fall stuff out and just decorate in one morning. And we do give thanks to the Lord for pumpkins and for fall. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you have any questions about the pumpkin butter. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.